everybody. So we are really excited to be here to talk about the latest in animated news. We did a whole episode on our response to the trailers that have come out. We had so many trailers, we thought we'd try something new this week. And so check it out and let us know what you think. And if you liked it, we'd love some feedback. That would be really fun. And I'll put a link to that podcast in the description section if you missed it. So today we are talking about the animated news, and we did just barely, as we're recording, this is on the 12th of November, we found out about Stan Lee's passing. It's not exactly animated related, but we just wanted to share our condolences with his family, and he certainly was somebody that was hugely influential in so many ways. So R.I.P. Stan Lee.
He wasn't known for animation, but he did do animated voices, and he was in and responsible for a lot of things that are either very influential to animation or directly inspired animation.
Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about it. He was just always a brightness to any Marvel film. For his moment to come up was always something you look forward to. And so it's definitely a loss for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're going to talk about the box office, and pretty much just one story this weekend. We did have Smallfoot leaving the top 10, and they have to be thrilled with what the movie did. It's certainly a lot better than I thought it would do, especially after seeing it and seeing how weird it is. Crossed the $200 million mark worldwide. They got to be thrilled with that.
I was surprised at how well it did too. I think people liked the weirdness more than you did. I mean, I liked the weirdness. I didn't love everything about it, and I thought it was fine, but I'm still surprised at how well the movie did.
Yeah.
Like, I went to the movie very late, and the theater was like, I would say almost a half full still.
Yeah.
So there were people still going to see it weeks after it had debuted. It did a lot better than I expected.
Definitely. I really thought it was going to kind of bomb after I saw it. And there you go. People liked it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing a Smallfoot 2 in the future.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah. So then our other big story, though, we had a #1 animated film debuted this weekend in Dr. Seuss's The Grinch from Illumination. And this scored with a $78 million opening weekend. I've seen the movie. It was very bland and very lame, but it's not the worst thing Illumination has made. So there you go. I think that it wasn't funny. They took out a lot of the funniness of the short, and like even the song really fell flat for me. Whereas like in the original short, the song is like, I think at least it's hilarious, so fun. You know, when you have this dry voice saying, you know, I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. The 3 words that best describe you, and I quote, stink, steak, stunk. Like that's funny. And I don't know, there wasn't anything funny like that in this. And it had a nice message about like not being lonely, I guess, and like welcoming people. But I think that the original message of the book and the movie is much more like interesting and moving, because the message of the original is that the Who's down in Whoville recognize that Christmas doesn't come out of a store. Christmas, in fact, is something more. And they gather together and sing, and the singing warms the Grinch's heart 3 times size, and he returns all the presents. Maybe the Grinch said Christmas is something more, and that's more moving than being lonely isn't good. So I didn't love it. It wasn't great, but it's not like the worst thing you'll ever see. And if you're dying to take kids to something, like, it's not offensive, it's not terrible, but it's just super bland. And so I would give it like a C plus, or like, I don't know, 2.5 stars out of 5.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and I wasn't really too impressed by most of the trailers. I think the animation looked like it was good, but then it looked like they were adding a whole bunch of stuff like that weird
Yeah.
reindeer hippo thing. I don't
Yeah,
know
he
what
was
that's like. Why did they add that thing? It looked
lame.
like it was going to annoy me a lot.
Yeah. And they seem to think that the Grinch inventing stuff is funny, which maybe I'm like out of the kid's sphere, so I don't understand, but I don't think that's funny. Like just in and of itself, I don't think it's funny to just invent stuff. Like, okay. Um, but I don't know. I just thought that the change they made to the story wasn't in its benefit. And I don't know. It was just lame. It's just not a great movie, but it's not like completely awful, and I wasn't offended like I was with the Minions movie. So there we go. That's my thoughts on the Grinch. But it made a lot of money because it's an Illumination movie and they are marketing geniuses. And so good for them. Yay. Okay. Then next we have oh, this is very exciting. We have a sequel to Son of Bigfoot. I was just talking about it in the trailer podcast. I think that Son of Bigfoot is a hidden gem. I loved the animation. I loved the story. It had tons of heart. It was really like the music was good. I was so surprised because when I saw the poster art, I was just like, oh no, but I was had time, so I was like, let's give it a shot. And I watched it and I thought it was really good, like legitimately good. And so, it's going to be interesting to see what they do for a sequel because it kind of ends on a good spot. And so Bigfoot superstar, the whole family's together and settled into home life at last. Adam, now a teen, has translated his Bigfoot blood superpowers into stardom, which he hopes to use to further his environmental protection mission. With this in mind, Adam sets out for Alaska with his animal friends. So it's interesting. I don't know. I didn't really see it as him having superpowers in the original, but just him being part Bigfoot. But I guess that's superpowers. But anyway, so I just really actually like the original quite a bit. So I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I do plan on watching it sometime. Like I said in the last episode, I kind of want to do like a comparison of all the Bigfoot movies that have recently come out.
Yeah.
I think it'd just be an interesting thing to talk
Yeah.
about because there's so many. It's just so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just way better than I thought it was going to be. So it really surprised me. And I was like, I kind of championed it last year. I did a whole review on rotoscopers. I did a review on my blog, and then I did a review on my channel. And the review on my channel has over like something like 6,000 views, which is a lot for me.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was kind of my like little movie that could. So woohoo, good job. Because I really just thought it was good and worthy of support. So anyway, next we got a first look at the VRV and Puppy Cat Lazy in Space.
It's Verve. That Verve is a streaming service. It's like
Oh,
not specifically, but it's mainly animation focused. It's relatively new. It's like only come out in the last year or two.
okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
I've heard of it because Bee and Puppy Cat and there's another show, Bravest Warriors. Bee and Puppy Cat and Bravest Warriors were on Channel Frederator's YouTube channel for the longest time, and then I'm thinking I don't know if they were running out of money or what, but then Verve purchased the rights to them and started funding new episodes of both. And Bravest Warriors has been coming out on Verve for a while. I'm not caught up on that. But Bee and Puppy Cat is the new episodes are coming soon. And if you have not seen Bee and Puppy Cat, I highly recommend it. It is very weird, especially the most recent episode, the last episode of the series. It is very weird, but it is so creative and really cute. And like it's cute and exciting at the same time. But I can't describe how weird and good it is in its own weird way. Like, just go watch it. All the Bee and Puppy Cat episodes are available on YouTube, so you can watch them there. And then Verve, I think they're exclusive to the streaming service for a while, and then the episodes are made that so that you can watch them without paying.
Uh,
But they're like exclusive to paid customers for a while before they're released to the general public. So eventually you'll be able to watch it. So check out Bee and Puppy Cat if you haven't seen it yet.
huh, interesting. Cool. Yeah, it looks a little Steven Universe-y to me.
It is a little. It's kind of got that pastel tone to it, and it's got that, I don't know, it just, the fact that it's both cute and action based, and one occasionally, very occasionally, like slightly disturbing. Not like in a really horrible way, but like it's just weird. It's weird but good. It's one of those things you have to see it to like totally understand what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
I really like the BMF Cat, and I'm really excited that they're like finally expanding it into a full series instead of just short cartoons on YouTube.
Huh, cool. Interesting. I haven't heard of that. So that would be interesting to check out. So we have new details from about the Dalmatian Street. This is the 101 Dalmatian Street series from Disney Channel that's going to be starting soon. They have a whole bunch of guest stars that have been announced. Miriam Margolyes, Ben Bailey Smith, somebody named Paloma Faith.
The lead roles, it says, are Josh Brunner, who I recognize the name, but I can't think of anything I've seen him in, and Michaela Dietz. If you watch Steven Universe, Michaela Dietz is Amethyst. And I'm really excited to see her in something else. I think she's, from the look of the cartoon characters in this show, I think she has the perfect voice for this little dog.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they have definitely been hitting out of the park with their recent animated series. DuckTales has been really great. The Bigger Six series, I've just seen the pilot, but it was pretty solid. Everybody loves the Tangled series. I really like the Mickey Mouse reboot series, whatever. I really like that. So
I know some people are not very fond of the character design because it is weird at times. But there's just something about it. The way it's animated, it's just, to me, it's more like Looney Tunes than Disney, and I think that's sort of what turns some people off. But I like that about it. There's just something about it that's charming and hilarious.
yeah. So we also got there was this amazing trailer, I guess, about the new Netflix in-house animated studio. Like, this little trailer or ad or whatever you want to call it had me like squealing in excitement. Like, it looked amazing, like the amount of freedom they're giving the creators and the great people that they have on board that have worked on amazing movies and shows, and just the amount of 2D that we saw here, and some of the things, the projects that they have coming up. We've just seen Hilda, which was amazing. People love BoJack Horseman. Castlevania is getting another season. There's just so many. You have Alex Hirsch on board from Gravity Falls. You have you just had this series produced by Matt Groening, Disenchantment. There's just every reason to be excited. I think it's Jorge Gutierrez from Book of Life. He's going to be doing this series. Just so many amazing people that are involved in this new Netflix studio.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I've heard for a long time that Netflix basically gives its creators free reign to do whatever they want, and you don't really find that in a lot of big studios.
Yeah.
Like, big studios, they want you to answer to all the executives. You've got to do it. Everything's got to be marketable. You've got to be able to make toys of everything. And this is just like, if you have an idea, we're going to let you make it. It shouldn't be that unique of an idea, but just the fact that they let creators do what they want, that's just unbelievable and exciting to me. I'm really excited to see what becomes of this. I'm so glad that they've got all these great animators coming on board with them. It seems like Netflix is the place you want to work if you're in animation. Like, to me, I always would have said Disney would be the best place to go because they always have the highest quality stuff. But if, from the sounds of it, if you want to be able to freely make everything you want to make, Netflix is where you want to go.
And 2D.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
only one. This is so exciting. Yeah, I'm thrilled, over the moon, excited about this. It's if you guys haven't seen the little advertisement trailer, I don't know what you call it exactly, that Netflix put out. You definitely have to. It was so good. Very, very exciting time to be an animation fan. There's no doubt about it. So we're gonna have some stop motion with Pinocchio and Wendell and Wild. They have some CG feature films, The Willoughbys, Over the Moon, 2D Klaus and My Father's Dragon. Like, it's just crazy. Just in Netflix alone, 6 animated features in the works.
Yeah, and I'm really, really excited about My Father's Dragon. Most people probably have no idea what this is, but My Father's Dragon was a book that I found at the library when I was a little kid, and I loved that book so much. I checked it out so many times. Like, it's probably the book that I checked out the most when I was a kid from the library. There's 3 books in the series, so I'm assuming that this is going to be a series of films. At least it had better be. They better do all of them. It's been a very long time since I've read the book, but I'm pretty sure it's a kid or maybe an adult telling the story of when his father was a child and his father had a dragon. It's just, the illustrations were so good and so like iconic. Like, if I saw an illustration, even if it was not of the boy or the dragon, I would recognize that specific style. And I really, really, really hope that the movie is going to be made in the style of the illustrations from the book. It's just, I cannot believe that they're making this book into a movie. I never would have imagined that happening, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Sounds really cool. Yeah, so some other stuff that they have coming up. We have Maya and the Three. This is a limited series. This is Jorge Gutierrez from Book of Life. Mythical Mesoamerican inspired world. Warrior princess embarks on a quest to recruit 3 legendary fighters to help save the world of men and gods. So I'm not a huge fantasy person, but I love Jorge Gutierrez. I really enjoyed the Book of Life. Really excited to see what he comes up with for this.
Yeah, I am a fantasy person, so I think this sounds great, and I love the fact that it's talking about a completely different culture. Again, that was my big thing with Coco. We're getting a story from another culture teaching us something that we have no idea about. Hardly anyone in America does stories from other cultures. And I like the fact that this guy is like, in that interview in the video you were talking about, he specifically says he wants to tell stories from his culture. And I
Yeah,
think that's great.
yeah,
I'm
me
really
too.
excited to see where this goes, and I'm excited to see what this is going to look like. I think this
Yeah.
one sounds great. I'm not quite as excited as I am for My Father's Dragon, but that's just because I have like childhood attachment to My Father's Dragon.
Uh-huh.
If My Father's Dragon wasn't here, I think this probably would be my most excited for one.
Hmm.
Either that or maybe Craig McCracken's one, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously most excited for Hilda 2, season 2, but yeah, I mean, how can you not be excited if you're an animation fan for this? We so there's a preschool series called Go Go Corey Carson, and then a show by Craig McCracken, Powerpuff Girls, and the Foster Home for Imaginary Friends. Really talented guy. Kid Cosmic is the name. This is a show about a young boy who dreams of becoming a hero. When he stumbles across some cosmic stones of power, his dreams appear to have come true.
I really like Craig McCracken. I really liked
Oh
Wander
yeah,
Over
I
Yonder.
love Wander Over Yonder. Yeah, I forgot about that. Ah, that show's so good. I
Yeah,
agree with
and
you.
I'm still mad at Disney for canceling that series.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
that wasn't a Gravity Falls situation where they wanted to cancel it. They had the 3rd season planned, maybe
Yeah,
written, and Disney canceled it. I'm still mad about that.
yeah,
So
agreed.
I'm glad to see anything from Craig McCracken. I love his imagination.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, then there's gonna be Trash Truck, and this is an animated series from Max Keen, who did Dare Basketball. Hank is a free range, dirt covered 6-year old boy with a big imagination and even bigger best pal, a giant honking snorting trash truck. From learning to fly to going to the dentist, there's no adventure too big or too small for these 2 friends. Glenn Keane and Jenny Rim serve as executive producers. So the talent, you got to believe that this is going to be fun.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they're doing a series about a trash truck. Like, a lot of people like look down on like garbage collectors, But little kids, for whatever reason, look up to people like that. And I love the fact that they're like focusing on that in an animated series.
That's a good point. Yeah. It's really
It's
cute. I
not
mean,
targeted to me, but I'm probably going to at least watch the first
yeah.
especially because like Glenn Keane is involved.
Hello. Yeah. And then we have Motown Magic. This is Josh Wakely from Beat Bugs. 52 newly recorded versions of classic Motown hits from such musicians as Jackson 5, Temptations, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. The series follows Ben, a wide-eyed 8-year-old with a big heart and an amazing imagination who uses a magic paintbrush to bring the street art in Motown to life. So that sounds pretty cute. Then another of the features, Jacob and the Sea Beast. This is CGI. It's going to be directed by Chris Williams, who worked on Big Hero 6, Moana, and Bolt. And it tells the epic story of charming seafarer who sails into uncharted waters and discovers an unlikely ally in a sea monster. This will come out 2022.
I'm actually really excited for this one too because I love dragons. I love sea monsters like tangentially related to dragons. But Chris Williams, like Moana, Big Hero 6, he's so good. I'm really excited to see what he can do with this story. Just there's been so many like kind of disappointing stories about things like Loch Ness Monster and such. So I'm really, really hoping that he does a good job with this. And I think he will, just because of who he is and what he's done in the past. I'm excited.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. All the features look really interesting to me. I'm just really excited about this new talent and the new studio. It's really cool. So, okay. We also got new images for the Watership Down BBC series that they're going to be doing. I think this is just a limited series. I think it looked good. I love the original. There's a whole podcast that I did with my friend Erin about it. And I love the book. And I think the book is very moving and interesting, and it keeps growing. Every time you read it, you find something new and interesting. You know, it's really well known for sort of the brutal bunny violence, but I think that there's a lot more to it than that. It's a really thoughtful, really good story and good book and good movie. So these images all look fine. Hopefully they will keep what makes Watership Down great and won't try to change it too much. I'll be really mad. It'll be the animated and with an E if they screw it up. But hopefully they won't, and hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah, I've never seen the original, nor have I read the book. The only familiarity that I have with it is my cousins have talked about they borrowed it from the library thinking that it was a children's movie when they were very small. And it was not.
No, this is not Peter Rabbit. This is a political allegory told through an adventure with rabbits. It's more like the it's more like the bunnies in Monty Python, except for not funny.
I kind of, before this one comes out, I would like to track down the original and watch it.
Yeah,
that way I have something to compare it to.
Oh,
I
definitely.
would like to see this because these images I think look great.
Yeah, you should definitely watch it. It's really, I think, beautifully animated, well voiced. Some people might call it cheap animation, but I actually really appreciate what they did. And like I said, I love the book, so I'm curious and intrigued. Don't screw it up, BBC. Okay, then we have Shrek franchise to be rebooted. Instead of it being a sequel, I guess, like we had thought at first.
Well, rebooted, I think they're using that term loosely. I think it will be sort of a sequel, but it just isn't going to like reference the original movies too much. From everything that they were saying in the interview, he wants all the same people to come back. He wants all the same voice actors. It doesn't sound like it's going to be a reboot. I kind of think that everybody calling it a reboot is saying that just to get clicks from angry fans of the originals. Like, why would you reboot my childhood? Which they are getting, and there's been a lot of clickbait based on the word reboot. So I don't know how much stock we should take in that word. I don't think this is as much a reboot as it is a soft relaunch of the franchise.
It will be like this recent Halloween movie and be like a requel. I'm fine, whatever. I don't really like Shrek movies, so this does nothing for me. But I am concerned that Chris Melandri is going to be involved with this because I think that he is kind of like he's brilliant and making things that people go see, but he's, I kind of think, I don't know, the used car salesman of animation.
Well,
So,
I remember when Shrek first came out, we liked the first two. I think we liked the other ones in that we didn't know what good meant. It was just like,
eh,
oh, another Shrek. We like Shrek. We'll watch these. So we liked the first two a lot, I know. I cannot for the life of me tell you what the third and fourth one were. Like they did not stick in my head. There might have been baby Shreks at one point. I don't
no.
know.
The
They
third
were not
one
memorable.
The third one stuck in my head for its awfulness. I actually haven't seen the fourth one. I hated the third one so much. It was just, it was not for me. And they managed to make all these characters like so unlikable. And I think the second one is the best out of the series. But I don't know. I'm just not into parody films, and I don't. I feel like the first one was like funny for one watch, and then the second time I'm like, oh, I've heard all these jokes, so I do not think those movies hold up really at all for me. i
I
i
have not
just
seen them in
yeah.
years, so it'd be interesting to go rewatch them now and see what I think of them now. I
I mean,
remember liking them back then, but like I said, I cannot tell you what the third and fourth one were about. I remember the first and second one. So that should tell you something about the quality of the third and fourth one that it
yeah.
didn't stick in my head.
Anyway, so okay, a couple more things. So Netflix, we have Pacific Rim anime, and we talked about their other things. So this, no, thank you.
Well, it's more original anime. So Pacific Rim is only one of like 5 anime that they're making. Original anime, not related to their animation initiative that we talked about before. This is like
Oh,
all new anime. So
okay.
I'm actually I I know he'll disagree with me, but I think Pacific Rim will be amazing as an anime. I'm excited about this because Pacific Rim already borrowed heavily from Japanese stuff like their kaiju genre. This is perfect for an anime, and as long as they have good writing on this, I can't see why this is going to be bad. Netflix already has Guillermo del Toro working on stuff for them. I don't know that he'll be back as like a writer, but I can't see that he wouldn't step in to do some consulting on this at least to be
Uh-huh.
involved in some way because he invented the Pacific Rim franchise.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I think this is going to be good. I don't know that it's going to be utterly amazing or anything, but as an anime, like just a regular action anime, I think it's going to be good. I think it'll be worth watching.
You could be right. I always have an open mind with things. I hated Pacific Rim 2 so much. I thought it was so exhausting and so awful, but I liked the first one pretty decently. So maybe, but I'm just still so burned on that second movie. I just thought it was death in the cinema. It was awful. We got some new details about Frozen 2. We've got 4 new songs already, and Elsa and Anna will go far out of Arendelle. So that's exciting. Jennifer Lee says, we have a new song that I think is an evolution from Let It Go. It's its own song. The Lopez's just delivered it 3 weeks ago. We've been working with them for 2 years, and this song just came in, and I love it. So super excited about that. They're working with Hidden Figures screenwriter Allison Schroeder. And it says the song is one of 4 already chosen for the movie. We have 3 more to go. So it's going to be 7 total songs, which is exciting. Oh, because I love the music in Frozen, and Idina Menzel and Kristen Bell do such a good job. And
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be bigger, more epic, and they're going to go far out of Arendelle. And so that's exciting. And I'm really getting more and more excited about this. It says there's a new energy of us just being fearless. What we're really investing in is what is the future generation of filmmakers. We're taking our seasoned directors and their mentoring. There's an energy of bringing new voices in and creating films that just push us to the next place. The doors are open to everyone to really participate. So this is very exciting because when Ed Catmull and John Lasseter took over, it was just after Chicken Little, and there was just the whole place was just very depressed. And so I feel like it's kind of a similar sort of thing happening where there's this new energy, this new excitement. And I love the fact that we're getting this mentoring of the seasoned directors with new talent. You know, you're never going to get me to not be excited about 7 new songs from the Lopez's. Hello. So I'm on board.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. I wasn't really on board with an idea of Frozen 2. Like when I first saw Frozen, I liked it well enough, but I'm one of those people who just does not understand the hype. Like I thought it was fine, but I felt like Tangled was more worthy of all the adoration that Frozen got. I have nothing against Frozen. I liked Frozen, and the fact that they were making a sequel is kind of an obvious thing. Like it made a lot of money. They're obviously going to make a sequel. So that's basically how I felt. Like this is obviously just something they're doing to make money. But they do have good talent working on it. Like the fact that they're going out of Arendelle, I think is good. Make it as different from the first one as possible. Hopefully there's not going to be a whole lot of ice involved. Like she has ice powers, so we'll have some, but like don't make it like a frozen land. I don't know. Make it like something totally different, but with the same characters. Just differentiate it from the first as much as possible. Don't retread everything we've already seen.
Well, I mean, I think that they can do something totally different, but still have it be in ice. But I guess I still feel like there's tons of story left to tell because I feel like the original was just kind of setting up the characters. And I just feel like with 2 characters, you have more story to tell and more potential. And I feel like there's more to say as far as particularly Elsa, who, you know, never found a love interest. There's a lot of story kind of left for that. The first story was kind of her just becoming who she is, I think. So I think there's a ton of potential there. Whereas like other movies like Tangled, it's done. You know, now they have the animated series, but they kind of had to be ridiculous about how she would get her long hair back. And people like that series, and that's fine. But I just feel like that a movie like Tangled is done. Like the end of the story is them falling in love and, you know, being happily ever after, and you're done. Whereas this, I feel like there's a lot more story to tell personally. So I'm really excited. I love Frozen, and I love Tangled too. You know, I love the Lopez's music. They're amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very looking forward to it. And I love that mentoring thing. That's awesome. So anyway, it should be pretty cool. Okay, last story. So we got the name of the Disney streaming service that's coming out, Disney Plus. Bob Iger gave his sort of vision for what they want out of this service. Disney Plus will focus on content rooted in the company's most formidable brands: Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic, the latter of which will join the Disney fold through its pending acquisition of 21st Century Fox. The service will offer subscribers unprecedented access to Disney's library of film and TV fare, Iger said. And they announced that they're going to have a new Rogue One related series about Cassian, which I didn't really like Rogue One very much, so yeah. But they're going to have a docu-series that he described as an unprecedented look at the inner workings of Walt Disney Imagineering. Super excited about that. There's activity across the board at our company in terms of increased production and investment for this app. We think we're in great shape. We have a game plan in place, bring the product to market. So I am definitely, sign me up for this Disney service. Like, oh my gosh, am I ever gonna leave the house? That's the question. All of this.
Of all the companies that could make a streaming service, I feel like Disney is the one that has the surest bet of it being a success.
Yeah.
Like there's so many companies that really want their own streaming service because it would be a good way to make money. But how many people are going to sign up for a very niche thing? But with Disney, I mean, it's sort of niche, but like it's a niche that like everybody likes, even people who say they don't like Disney. There's something that Disney makes that they like. Marvel is huge, and this service is going to have, as far as I know, it's going to have all the Marvel content except for their adult stuff from Netflix, plus new things. Like they're going to do a Loki series. And
oh my gosh, so excited about that.
Who doesn't love Loki? So I feel like this is the surest bet. I'm not sure of the name though. What do you think of the name Disney Plus?
I like it. It was a lot better than that. I forget what it was that they that had gotten supposedly leaked about
There's a
the name.
Disney Play. That is
Uh,
Disney Plus is much better than Disney Play.
yeah, agreed. I'm fine with it.
So I don't know. I was hoping for something that was just like knocked my socks off with like, yes, that is the perfect name for this. But this is like, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I was hoping for something more exciting, but I guess Disney Plus is fine.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to hear that they will have unprecedented access to Disney's library of films.
Yes, I'm
That's
really
cool.
excited for that. Like especially for my YouTube channel. Like my one of the things that I've been wanting to do is we'll go through the entire library of Disney features. And I want to go back through like the old stuff too. Like I know I focus on animation, but I want to talk about like the live action stuff from like the 50s, 60s, 70s. And there's so many that they just aren't in print and there's hardly any way to get them
Yeah.
unless you go down the back alleys of the internet and search and search and search. But like this is so much easier. Like everything is in one place. I'm really excited to see what all they're going to have on there.
Yeah,
It's
me
it's
too.
exciting.
And I mean, I've always thought that the vault was stupid, but
Oh,
I
me
think it's
too.
especially stupid in the days of streaming. It just doesn't
Mhm.
make any sense. Like you're just asking people to pirate your work if it's not available to
Exactly.
them.
Yes.
So I'm really excited for sure. I take my money now.
Hmm.
So there you go. We talked about it all. And so let us know what excites you about these news items, what you think. And yeah, if you've gotten to see The Grinch, let us know what you think of that. Put in the comment section. And all these Netflix projects, what do you think of that? And thanks for joining me to talk about this, Jonathan.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. So where can people find you?
I'm on social media at John J. North, and my YouTube channel is iHeart Animation.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and YouTube and all over social media. So make sure to follow me and give us your reviews on iTunes. It really helps people find the podcast. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.